Hello, friends.
We did it.
Yo,
Whoa, we're here.
hi. By the way, we're here on the internet, but we're also going to be at Dev Nexus.
Dev
people.
Nexus next week.
It's just
Yeah, the Nexus of devs.
It's
All
just
three
like-
of us.
yeah,
If you want to meet us, yeah,
in the same place.
In
Same-
Atlanta.
yeah.
In just like
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. So
150 hours.
I've got some booth duty that I'm gonna do next week, but then the fun parts are gonna be Josh and I doing an all-day workshop on Spring
Yeah.
AI, and we'll throw in some in Babel, and
Yeah.
so it's gonna get hands-on with that stuff. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a hoot. And then
It's
Josh
a-
and I are doing our usual song and dance on Spring
Yeah.
AI.
I think
On
I'm doing a
regular
security
session.
talk as well, and I know I got a panel, and I know Deshaun's all over the place. Like he's
Yeah,
got
I've got a few talks.
he got a few
About
things.
all sorts
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
What are you talking about, Deshaun?
I'm
Yeah.
going to talk about the way that we can develop stuff on our laptop and have it work in production. Like let's connect. the
Wait,
dots.
what?
Let's make it easy to go from laptop to production. For all
You
the
write
things.
code that goes beyond the trash bin after you get off stage? I'm so confused.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll talk about ways, right? The whole shift left.
Wow.
Me and our friend Kote, we
Oh.
almost use it as like a swear word,
love him.
getting shift lefted on.
Yeah, don't.
Don't. That's the title of the talk. Don't get shift
Are you allowed
lefted.
to? Are you allowed to say that in the first 30 seconds of the video? Wait, no, that's why we have the timer, the countdown.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And
That's some
Kote
good stuff.
is worth the price of admission.
So good.
Just-
Love content.
Love Kote. And I love Deshaun. That's obvious. I'm just saying this is also, I think the three of us are also in a Kote appreciation club.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you
Absolutely.
see his card, we're gonna have the cards. When you see his card at Dev Nexus, you'll be an even bigger fan.
I'm always,
I
yeah,
don't know about the card.
I can't wait.
Excited.
I've got a cool card. I got a cute dog in mind.
Yeah, you do.
Like mine. Okay. So anyway, you were talking about Spring. We're going to be talking about all of us. There's going to be some Spring AI in our steps next week. It's a big freaking ecosystem, and the reason is because AI keeps growing. And last we had MCP, we got ACP, we got A2A, we've got all this like. We've got these different Claude code and codecs, these CLIs that need orchestration. There's RAG. There's all these different patterns, and then the latest thing on the block seems to be skills. That was like a whole month ago.
Agent
and
skills. Yeah.
that was announced in January of 2026 for people watching in the
Yeah.
far-flung future. And there's like
Yeah.
thousands of them now, right, or millions or something. It's crazy.
But they're
So
hard to
many.
find.
What are
They're
they?
hard to find. Yeah, well, there's some challenges with those, and so we're going to talk about how we're making that world better for especially people in the Java ecosystem. So
Us.
yeah.
What is it?
Um,
What's a skill?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about what skills are. Skills. I was just setting up another demo, and I was like, I forgot about one demo, and I just got it set up. Hopefully
Nice.
everything works.
Wait, can I pay the bills with my skills?
Okay. You can pay the bills with your skills, man.
That's all I want in life.
That's all I want.
I actually did start creating the Zen of James skill. So it's like the skill that tries to encapsulate me. But
Is it
stepping back for like what skills are. Okay, so we've got our AI agents. Those can be code assistants. Those can be custom agents that we build. Those can be, whatever. Any place there's an AI agent. And what we want to do is get that thing agency, like some ability to like do things.
Yeah.
And so, we can use tools. We can use MCP, which is like remote, tools. But some of these things don't fit the like RPC style of tools. Like, what if we just want to like load some knowledge in to this agent? And so agent skills was a standard that Anthropic created, which was a way to just like encapsulate some knowledge, potentially some like examples, potentially some code examples, and be able to like take that package of knowledge and then add it to our agent. So then it like weighs the balance of the general knowledge of the whole model in a specific direction so that it has this like agency, and we can give it lots of different skills. And so the agent skills specification just defines a standard structure for these skills. And so we've
Yeah.
got a skill.md file. It has a YAML front matter that specifies the name and description, potentially some other metadata. And then we've got Markdown that just like gives this information, this knowledge to the agent. And so there's, yeah, as you said, lots of different people have built skills. The Java ecosystem is starting to build some interesting skills. There's one around building Spring applications, like why not
Julien
give
Dubois.
Julien Dubois created this.
Yeah.
Yep. Bruno Borges created the like debugging skill for Java applications. So there's, yeah, so it's great to see this ecosystem of skills like really starting to blow up, like lots of different skills in lots of different places. And I think in some ways this is like, we were trying to do some of this in MCP, but like trying to do the stuff over MCP maybe wasn't the best approach.
Not to
And
mention
so,
Chatty.
yeah, chatty and yeah, just like maybe not what that protocol is intended for. So
Yeah.
now we've got a standard way to do these agent skills. So
And what I love about skills is they are one of the big problems we've seen is that if you give the model too many parameters, too many things to think about, if you give it too much data in the prompt, and you give it too many tools that it can call and too many MCP tools that it could call, it produces a provably worse result, right? And
Yep.
so if you narrow its focus and let the model decide what it should be bringing into the context and not, it can do that. And so skills, it gets you a better result. And skills have this like that front matter you mentioned. It can do progressive discovery where it like looks at that, peeks ahead and says, hey, do I need this? It just reads 1 or 2 sentences, the very quick few 50 tokens, whatever. And then if it needs it, it adds it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So you don't have to do that your work yourself. You're not concatenating everything, hoping that something will be useful in your prompt.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it's very efficient, and you get better
Yeah.
results too.
Yeah, it kind of creates almost like a natural layering of like, okay, we're going to give the agent skill will have the name and the description, and we give that to the LLM. And then if it decides that it wants to use that skill, then it's going to pull in, more stuff. And then if it decides it wants to go deeper, it can start pulling in additional things from the skill. So it can kind of like progressively load this stuff. So yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of the basics on skills. Okay, so now to my project, SkillsJars, announcing for the first time ever on the Coffee and Software podcast live stream.
You heard it here
Live
first.
cast.
You heard it here first.
First.
Yeah. So okay, I a couple weeks ago was like, oh, we should have a way to take these skills and make them fit better into the Java ecosystem. And really what that means is like, let's take these skills, put them into a jar file, and then we can put that jar file in Maven Central, and then we can then add that skill as a standard dependency in our project. And then there's a bunch of like nice things that we get when we do that. One of the things is that we get like a versioned actual like thing that we can run through, security validation checks, those sorts of things. Also, we can do transitive dependencies. So maybe you're in a large organization, that organization may want to wrap up a bunch of skills into one package and have that all there. And so so now we have this ability to like distribute agent skills through Maven Central. So that's a little thing, and I'm gonna show you all this. But
I have a question.
Yeah,
I have some questions. So, are you proxying some directory or directories?
Yeah. Well, do you want to just look at it and see what it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just deciding how you decide what gets packaged.
Yes. So actually, I don't decide. You decide, and that's the fun thing here. Oh yeah, we can throw my screen up back on the stage here. Okay, so this is SkillsJars.com. You can go there today, and what it allows you to do to your question is it allows you to publish a skill. So we can actually try this live. Let's go find. There's a good list of skills at skills.sh. Let's go find a skill that would be interesting here. Got all sorts of skills. We got this PDF. I already did that one. let's try. Let's see. Maybe an interesting social content. Oh, this would be good for marketing skills. So
Yeah,
let's just go see what's going to happen here.
we
I
know
haven't tried
marketing
this,
people.
so this could just totally flop. We're gonna just try it live.
What could
Okay,
possibly go?
so this
Yeah.
is from what I need is the GitHub org and repo. And if you actually like click through here, we can see here's the GitHub org and repo. But then let's go try to put this in here. So we do have to separate that. I should make my UI nicer, or I just can do the slash. But okay, let's hit deploy. So when we hit deploy on that thing, what is happening underneath the covers, and I probably need like a little spinner or something like that. I mean, all this stuff is like fresh off the,
I mean, the whole
the
thing
cooker.
none of this existed New Year's, right? This is all
None of it existed like a week ago.
skills. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
SkillsJars, everything. It's all brand new.
Okay, so here's what just happened. It went out and fetched that GitHub repo. It found the skills in that repo, and then it deployed artifacts for each skill. And I decided to do an artifact per skill. I don't know. I had some reasoning for that. But I thought it felt nicer to like maybe you only want the copy editing one and not the email sequence one.
Right.
And so anyway, so I separated it out into individual artifacts. Okay, and Maven Central, it's going to take like 10 to 30 minutes or so to actually get this thing up on Maven Central. But in 30 minutes,
can you show me what you mean by individual skills? Like it's one skill GitHub repo.
Yeah, so for that one, let's go look at this person's repo. Where was that? Right here. Okay.
That is so cool, by the way.
So here, there's this is the skills directory, and you can see all the skills that are in this repo, like marketing ideas. So now, marketing ideas, we pull up that skill.md. There's the front matter we were talking about, and then we see that here's the all this knowledge of what are we in marketing ideas and how to come up with marketing ideas. I mean, we should probably use this for our live stream. use this skill to help us market our live stream. But so that's what's in this particular skill. Oh, and then there's references. So maybe maybe when we're processing the skill, wherever we're using it, whatever agent we're using it is going to decide to go deeper and pull this file into the context as well. So anyway, that's just that one skill. So there's other skills in here as well. AI SEO, maybe we want to do some AI SEO on something. So this is just one of lots of different
skills. That's a really loaded one. Yeah.
So the skills.sh index says that there are 73,000 skills now.
Wow.
And so obviously at this point, my little SkillsJars doesn't have that many, but maybe at some point it will, or maybe I should just automate fetching all those or something. I don't know.
How does versioning work?
Okay, so a lot of the skills that are up on GitHub don't have versions at all. They're just like nothing, just like a git commit. And so because of that, I made it so I'm just automating the version based on the git commit hash, just the short hash there, and then the date of that commit.
Love it.
And that's how I decide what the version is. And if you try to deploy this thing again, it's not going to, because it's going to say hey, I already have the skills jar deployed for that particular git hash.
But if they do a git push, then it will deploy, right?
Then we could, yeah, and it doesn't automatically do any deployments yet. That's something we could certainly add in the future. But yeah, so that's how I do the versioning. And then this, I had to come up with some convention for how I map the GitHub org repo and skill name to a Maven artifact name. So that's my little convention there. Okay, so then skills jars, we're putting all these things, all these skills up on Maven Central. You can use this website to navigate through these and search for PDF or whatever, and then we can see there's some PDF related skills, whatever, and then you can change if you want to see the Gradle or the SBT. We can add others.
Oh,
And then there's some
SBT.
documentation here on like, okay, if you are using an AI code assistant and want to pull your SkillsJars into your AI code assistant, there's Maven and Gradle plugins to do that. And so I can actually show you how those work instead of showing you the documentation. But first, I've got a Maven project. I've got my pom.xml, and then I've set a dependency here on the Anthropic Skills PDF skills.
We got
and then I also
two
have got
questions.
Siva's one on Siva's one here. Yeah, go ahead with questions.
Two questions. They're both basically the same. Do you analyze a skill for security issues before putting them in Maven Central? And then are there checks in place to ensure skills don't have any hidden characters and to perform prompt injections? Because you've seen that, right? Like a markdown file can have an HTML comment, which the model will see, but which doesn't show up in GitHub in the README reader.
I'm not yet, but that's probably the very first feature that I'm going to add is some scanning. If anybody has an idea on scanning, like what I should use for that, let me know. What I was thinking about doing is just throwing the LLM at it before I do the deployment and telling the LLM to tell me if there's any security concerns, and then if there are, then I won't. But yeah, definitely looking for some feedback on what we should do around that. Because these are all going into Maven Central, one of the nice things is that a lot of people already have for their own infrastructure security scanning of dependencies, before they allow them to be used within their organization. So hopefully that's kind of a backstop for some of this, but I do think that when you hit that deploy button that I should do some due diligence on the
and that's a good point though. If people are choosing to deploy a skill, I mean, hopefully they will have done the work of like,
I mean, anybody can deploy any skill. So today it's
true,
free for all.
But I mean,
yeah.
But definitely
don't deploy skills that have security issues.
Right.
Yeah.
But also but I mean, if you're deploying a skill for your use in your org, and you found a version that has no security issues, you looked at the README, you looked at the README on your local file system by catting it and looking at it in Vim or Notepad or whatever, instead of looking it up in the GitHub README.reader. If you've done all that work, and you like it, you do SkillsJars. Now you've got a version; it's pinned. So if somebody does then introduce a prompt injection attack in the next revision, you're on the version that you vetted. So at least you have a way to solve that problem, as opposed to just get cloned and hope.
Yeah, and a lot of organizations will protect the things that people are allowed to use as dependencies through their Artifactory or their Nexus server, and so you could certainly lock that
looks
down
interesting.
as well.
There's a skill scanner. Is this actually from Cisco? Like the Cisco? You're muted, friend.
Skills.
You're muted.
Who?
Hey, Deshaun.
Me. Oh, Deshaun's muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, this was brought up. I went down the whole Molt Hub debacle on the skills being deployed with broken things with security. It was some large percentage of the skills that were uploaded to this central place had these security things in it, and this was one of the answers. This is one of the solutions that people were pointing to go and scan your skill. So there's a happy path.
Great.
At least check the box.
As soon as we're done with this live stream, that's what I'm working on for SkillsJars.
You'll have it done 10 minutes after we're done.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. But I would absolutely recommend that before you use a skill, go review what's in it. And here's the cool thing. We've set a dependency on this skill. Well, then that thing is just a jar in our class path. And we can go, look here in the jar file and see skill.md, right? And so this is the PDF skill.md for that particular one. But this is now just a standard dependency that we can then use in a couple of different ways, and I do want to show the couple of different ways, but I'll see if there's any other questions before we go on, because security is a great topic to have covered right up front.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show how to use this within a code assistant. So lots of different code assistant options out there. I think they pretty much all support agent skills at this point. And what we need to do is, in this case, get from these jars that are going to essentially be on our class path. And there's a way we could avoid putting them onto our runtime class path or test class path that I'll talk about in a second. But we need to get from these jar files to files on our file system so that our code assistant can use them. So to do that, I have the SkillsJar Maven plugin, and that thing, what it does is it just extracts the SkillsJars out to whatever directory you need them extracted to. And so just to verify that this is going to all actually work live, let's clean up my Kiro directory. So I'm using Kiro CLI as my example AI code assistant. So now I'm going to run Maven SkillsJars extract, going to give it the directory. So I think if it, you're using Cloud Code, it's like .claude/skills, so everyone has its own directory that it wants its skills in. So I'm going to just extract those out. And what we should see here is that it found 2 SkillsJars and it extracted them. And then we should see those extracted now into this .kiro skills directory. And then we see, sure enough, there's my skills. And so now if I run my AI code assistant, then what it's going to do is first it's going to tell me that I can't connect to some MCP servers that I need to go disable. But then I can go in and say /context show, and we'll see that it has now somewhere in here SkillsJars. Okay, so now wait, no, where's my skills? Oh shoot, demo fail. I'm not running the latest version of Kiro. We just added support for Kiro in Kiro for these things. Okay. Well,
while you
talk
do
amongst
that,
yourselves, I'm going to go update my Kiro.
I will do this. I will bring up this blog post from our good friend Christian Zolov, who he first introduced me to this idea of being able to leverage these skills inside of my Spring AI based apps.
Oh, yeah.
We have this community project, the Spring AI Agents project that allows us to pull in these skills. And this is how I connect the dots with there. I pull in the skills, I put them into my source main resources so that they're on the class path so that my agent can use them. My Spring AI based agent can use them that I'm building. And I realized hey, the more agents I build, I'm copying these skills across these different projects. And that was cumbersome to say the least.
Oh, and that's the next demo I'm going to show is that one with Spring AI. So
this solution is exactly what I was looking for. Where maybe not inside of my repository, I want it inside of my Spring AI based app.
Yes,
a great
absolutely.
For that.
Yeah, whether you're using an AI code assistant agent or your own custom agent that you want to have skills, the SkillsJars work in both places. So
hey James, what would be nice? Another thing I would love. Can you add some GraalVM resource declarations?
Yes, we will do that. Absolutely.
That'd be put
definitely.
that on the old to-do list, please.
Yep. Okay, is my screen showing again?
Yes,
I got my demo working.
Still.
Okay, cool. Okay, here I got Kiro updated to the version that supports agent skills, and now we'll start Kiro back up. And
it's good. It wouldn't be good if it wasn't live. So
exactly right. Yeah. Okay, now let's go context show again, and there we go. Now we see that sure enough, it did now find my agent skills, and so now it's got those skills. And so now I don't know. Let's see, what skill do I have in here? I've got Siva's Spring Boot one. I wonder what that thing does. Create a new Spring Boot app. Is that what this thing does? Using, I don't know how specific it need to be. The skill. I don't know. Let's just see what happens.
Pay my bills with this skill.
Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, so it is. It read the skills file, and it's like, oh, let's see, the skills file can help me like create it. And I love start.spring.io, but this is kind of cool too.
Yeah. I think this is like when you start modifying a project started on start.spring.io.
Yeah, that's probably makes more sense. Anyways, cool.
This is cool. Oh, it's got
my code assistant.
Look at that.
Right? Oh yeah,
Nice.
some good best practices built into there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to cancel out of that because don't want it. Okay, so that's my like AI code assistant side of SkillsJars.
Love this.
Okay, ready to go on to the next one?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Born ready.
So the next one is I've now built my own custom AI agent with Spring AI, of course, and I am I've got Spring AI. Let's see, and then I've got that project we talked about, which is the Spring AI agent utils. I think I have that open in my
Yep,
browser.
right there.
Yep.
Oh, somewhere, not that one. Spring AI community, and then.
And by the
we're
way,
gonna-
for people watching, if you haven't heard of the Spring AI community, there's a lot of things in the ever influx AI ecosystem that you'll find are being cared for in the Spring AI community rather than the Spring AI core, because things are changing so quickly. So these things will probably end up in Spring AI core, but for now, they're over here and they're moving very quickly. And we have third-party libraries that we can't maintain as well, like for things that are behind, they're hard to access.
Yeah. So this Spring AI agent utils we've got all sorts of different utils we can throw in there, shell utils and web search utils and ask
agree.
user question tools. But here's the one that we're going to use is the skills tool. And the skills tool allows us to load skills into our agent and expose those. And so now, as of like 12 hours ago, thanks to our buddy Christian, we now have support for SkillsJars in the skills tool. And so what that means is
So
that
we already had
nice.
we already had support for skills exploded
just
onto a directory on a file
on
system.
the file system essentially. Yep.
But now they're
And so now
packaged.
they can be on the class path. So class path based skills. So skills jars. Okay, so I've got my dependency on Spring AI agent utils. Then I'm using the OpenAI SDK model because I need an agent that can do some things. Oh, for some reason, I need to clean that up. I don't need the MCP client in this particular one. But then I've got my skills jar on the Anthropic skills PDF skill. And so I've got that dependency there, which means it's going to be on the class path. So my skill is going to be on the class path. We already saw what that looked like here, right? We can go look at com skills jars, and then there we go. There's our PDF skill. Okay, so then let's look at our agent. So our agent in this case, first config. Okay, we've got our config to be able to connect to that on Bedrock, connect up to the OpenAI GPT OSS 120 billion parameter model. And then I set, in this case, my agent skills paths. And one note is I initially started with meta-inf resources skills. And then thankfully on Twitter, somebody said, why do you don't need the resources, just make it meta-inf skills. So the newer versions I've published in like the last day are just meta-inf skills, but this particular PDF one is still in the old path. So that's a little note there. Okay, so we've got our chat client builder. We've got our skill paths that we want to add to our skills tool. And then because this is all new, I do have to have kind of a little workaround in my system prompt. So just kind of ignore that. Yeah, it's going to get fixed when we clean a few things up here. But okay, then I add a default tool callback on my skills tool, and then I give it that path. So this is it. That's like the wiring that's happening here to like connect the skills jars up to the skills tool, which is a tool callback, which allows the chat client now to have some knowledge of that. And then there's another little fun thing here, which is in Spring AI, there's two different ways that we can use tool calling. One is like we go LLM tool call, then back to LLM, then tool response, then back to LLM. We can like have this like big kind of loop with our tool calls, or you can use this tool call advisor, which just kind of iterates with the LLM in a kind of more micro loop. And so for this particular use case, we're going to be doing a lot of iterations with our skills tool, and in this case with our shell tools, and maybe with our file system tools. I can't remember if it's going to use that or not, but sometimes it does. And so because we're going to be doing all these tool calls, this kind of is a little optimization for just like in a recursive advisor being able to iterate with all those things. And then I've got my logging thing so we can see what's going on. Okay, so is that that's it. And then and then I've got a way to like send messages and see the responses. So that's my fancy little agent with the skills tool and the skills jars.
And which jars did you put on the path?
So this one I did the PDF one, and so the PDF one has some instructions for like creating and manipulating and pulling data out of PDFs and stuff.
Fantastic.
So let's go give that thing a try. Oh, actually, that's not how I'm going to run it. I'm going to run it. Oh, let's see. Give me my menu back. There we go. Okay, let's run this thing. And so when we run this, we need to play that prompt.
They need to play the Mortal Kombat. Get over here, Sam. Whatever.
Get over
Mac
here.
Mac OS window exceeds the bounds of the screen.
Totally. Get over here. Okay, so this may not work. We're gonna just try it, and we have to try it a couple times. But here's my prompt: create a PDF that contains the current directory listing. And the reason why I'm saying current directory listing is because if you say like create a PDF that contains "Hello World," that's actually like too easy for the LLM, and it's just like here's your like it doesn't even need tools for that. It's just like too easy for it. Okay, so let's run this thing and see what happens. Okay, and we're gonna kind of walk through it. The calls that are happening here. Okay, so the first thing, when we send that message, we've got my little workaround system prompt, and then we've got the text that I sent, but then we can see the tools that are available here are skill, bash output, kill shell, edit, write, read. Okay, so the first thing that the assistant decided to do was we're going to list files in the current directory. That's good. We need to get those so we can create the PDF. And then it's like, okay, now I need to get some information about the PDF skill. So that name got assigned to the skill from the class path. And so the LLM has decided there that hey, we're going to use a skill that knows how to deal with PDFs. It did that based on the description that was in that skill. And so then what happens is our back here, to do this thing, the skills tool now adds, it reads the information out of the class path, the skill, and so we can see this is like that whole markdown file gets thrown there in the tool response. And now the assistant is like, cool, let's see if it looks like, okay, finally, after a little bit of consideration, it now has decided that it's going to, based on what that skill has told it to do, which the skill tells it to write a Python program. And so now, based on the information in that skill, it's written a Python program to generate a PDF with the directory listing, and it's going to store that thing on the file system. And then, let's see if it's going to get it right. Now it's like checking for pandoc, don't know why. Now it's checking for inscript, don't know why. Finally, it's like, okay, let's go back for some reason to writing that Python code. And let's see. Check if the PDF, okay, so it did, I think, is hoping that the PDF was created, and it's telling me that yes, your directory listing PDF was created.
What?
It was supposed to have done that here in this directory. Let me like try to reload this
so
thing.
did it write
there
that
it is
code?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, so because that's what the skill told it to do. Like,
but
I'm not recommending that you use skills that write Python code on and run it on the fly, but just for a fun demo, like just to show that this all works.
Skills have the ability to have scripts, right? So that was a little surprising that it didn't just include that.
Yeah, the script is included in the markdown as like an example for how to create a PDF with Python. But anyways, let's check it. Directory listing PDF. Yay, there's my directory listing. So it worked. My skill did the thing. So my agent now learned a new skill. It learned how to, with Python, create PDF files, and it all worked, and it pulled that skill from the skills jar. We didn't have to copy and paste anything. We can version
self-contained. Somebody can git clone run this project and have an agent up and running in no time.
Yeah.
Oh. And you could put this behind a Spring MVC controller or whatever. I mean, there's just all sorts of opportunities here. Or a Spring Shell, by the way. Spring Shell would be a natural fit.
Me some Spring Shell.
Yeah, I mean, however you want to expose your agent. So
yes.
Oh yeah. Let's bring back the Amber screens. I'm all about that. Like AI, cyberpunk, Amber screens, for all of our demos.
Love it.
This is awesome, man.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
SkillsJars.com. It's got the documentation, which I just walked through. How to use it with
And
your
you've
code
got-
assistants, how to use it with Spring AI and the agent utils.
because it's really easy.
And then just to like note on the directory structure. So while I have the com.skillsjars group ID that I'm deploying these into, anyone could create their own skills jars. Like I don't care, like what, however people want to create them. The thing that I think is important is like, let's at least maintain like this directory structure within those jars, and maybe org repo skill, maybe you could vary from that, but essentially meta-inf skills. If we do that, then we can create an ecosystem of tools around meta-inf skills that can do all sorts of different things. So anyways,
Yes, please.
not everything needs to be in com.skillsjars.
Where a few months ago, everyone was asking, why don't you have an MCP server for that? Why don't you do that? Well, with an MCP server, a lot of times there's got to be some infrastructure that goes along with it.
You got to deploy that thing.
Yeah. And there's kind of a trade-off here. And one of the questions even here in chat was like, skills, agents, what am I doing? The skills seems a little bit easier for me to consume. I can get my head wrapped around it. And especially when I'm using Spring AI and the agent skills there, it makes a lot of sense. I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But we've also seen the news. There's a lot of builders, a lot of our favorite products and groups and projects. They're now delivering. Here's the skills. Here's our thing that you can plug into your Cloud Code or your Spring AI agent. You can plug in these things, and then you can have some best practices, some
department. I mean, even within organizations, we're seeing a little departmental skills. Like here's how we do.
Yeah, like brand guidelines. Like Anthropic has like a brand guidelines skill. They have an internal comms skill, which is like if you want to create a leadership update, just add this skill. So
I don't know if yesterday's announcement was a COBOL skill on Anthropic, but it made some waves. But these kinds of things are happening.
We could do a whole hour live stream on just that wonderful. Anyway, let's not do that here.
So, but to answer that question also, I think skills are really about like knowledge. MCP is really about accessing an API, like an RPC call, and potentially with authentication. So I recently set up an MCP server for my book, Effect-Oriented Programming, and I don't want people to have access to that MCP server unless they bought the book, right? Because the whole book is in the MCP server, and it's great for people who don't want to actually read the book but want the content like in their AI. And so I use Spring AI, of course, to create this MCP server, wrap auth around it, and so the auth piece of that is a good reason why I'll keep that as an MCP server, not as a skill. So I think there's still some reasons for this. Actually, I think it gets cleaner for like what should be skills and what should be MCP.
And by the way, we used the Spring Auth server for that. That was
yes, we did.
Turnkey. Just that's a win. It's not AI. I'm just saying it's magic.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Here. Oh, let's do it real quick on the fly. Let's see if it works. I'm still under active development, but let's go give this thing a try, because I tried to do this demo when I was at JFocus.
Wait, are you sure you want to do this now? Because we
something.
Oh, no.
What? Are we going to do a whole nother session on this?
Well, we should, but also if we end the demo now on a high note and there's no fails, because we're 10 out of 10 right now. We stuck the dismount.
We are 10 out of 10. But I'd like to risk it,
Okay.
Put it all on the line.
Yep.
Okay.
What could go wrong?
Everything could go wrong. Okay, I'm going to try to add my MCP server from my book, Spring AI, and then let's see. Oh, what's it doing? They changed the UI for this. Not connected. Which one is the right one? And
you can't delete
it. What's happening? They changed the UI on this thing. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. I just hit connect. It sent me to the login screen. I'll log in. You all can have my email address. I don't care. Email me anything you want. Okay. I'm going to email a login pin, and then oh no. Okay. That was not a demo fail. That was I need to accept cookies from my own websites. I don't accept cookies by default. It's kind of weird, but
Interesting.
Yeah,
approach.
I know.
Just to be aware.
I just turn off cookies by default. You know, it's
That's
some,
amazing, actually.
some
I can
people
understand
are
why.
weird like that, and it turns out some things just don't work when you don't have cookies enabled. Imagine that. Some things require cookies.
Very nice initiative there, James Ward says.
Right, security
soundboard.
first. Security first.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try. Let's try again. Connect. Let's see what happens. Okay, enter my email.
So this is the one-time token use
One-time
case, right?
token. Yeah.
It's
Okay,
been
so it
security
just
7.
emailed me I guess it's probably not awesome that I'm gonna show everyone my PIN, but it's a
Nope.
one-time token, right?
One time.
Yep.
Okay. So if somebody takes my PIN and tries to use it,
Click, hit enter. Okay.
quickly before anybody else does. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm authenticated to my oh, and why is it blocked? Let's always allow that thing. Of course I want to always allow my tools. So now this particular MCP server, I'm authenticated. Now
For your
we
book,
can come in.
Effects-Oriented Programming, EOP.
That's right. Yep. Okay, thank you. Okay, now there's two different ways. It exposes the book both as tools and it exposes it as resources, MCP resources. So I can come in here and say, add a chapter, chapter, and say, summarize this chapter. I don't know why I bother correcting any errors.
No,
but
don't
okay.
do that.
So anyways, it just went and pulled that chapter of my book into the context, and now it's giving us this really nice summary of that chapter.
That is money.
Oh, it all worked. It's all Spring.
Oh,
Isn't that so cool?
so
Spring
good.
with auth.
Secure,
all you have to do is
agentic AI.
accept those cookies.
Accept them. I think we should call it, gents. I think this has been a phenomenal release. Can I try to recap?
Yes, give us a recap.
Skills were introduced in January. For those not paying attention, that's a month ago, less than a month ago in some ways. And Skills came out like January. That was a brand new thing, a way to enrich the knowledge of the model in question. When it first arrived, it was for Anthropic. Obviously now, very shortly thereafter, Spring AI as a framework which allows you to do AI engineering. We introduced support for Skills, so now you can use any model. Doesn't matter. And at the same time, I imagine all the other models and their desktop experiences added support for Skills as well. So it's become a kind of a standard in, again, about a month. And so you've already been able to use that from Spring AI for more than a month now. And the question then was, there's all these great skills. How do I package them conveniently, deploy them, version them, etc.? James here sat down, did the hard work, and now there's an easy way. It's called SkillsJars, and there's built-in. Well, it's coming, but it's already you saw it here today. There's support for resolving those and working with those correctly from within Spring AI. Again, if you were on vacation for the holiday, none of this existed. I still have a tan from my vacation, right? And
the world's moving
now
fast,
this.
man.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Crazy. Oh, thank you, Sergi. Very nice. Oops, I put it up. Yep. Hey. What am I?
Fantastic.
I was doing it. You're doing it.
Yep. Fantastic work.
Yeah. Well done. Bravissimo. I think we should. This is too good. We got to stop. We have to. Cannot afford a demo here.
And we'll see you at DevNexus.
All three of us. It'll be so good.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, my friends.
Ciao.